Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. Tonight's topic of discussion is a little compassion, and with me to discuss what's going on with the organization is Bill Ferguson, who's their executive director, and Rich Wills, who's their development director. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
How are we?
Good.
How we doing tonight?
Good.
Cool.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming down. So, Rich, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit of background information about how you became involved with the organization.
Well, I joined the organization a little under a year ago.
Okay.
I had a development background years ago and working with several schools in the Boston area. Mm-hmm. And they were looking for someone to assist with their fundraising efforts at A Little Compassion, and I was happy to join the team. I myself am what you'd call neurodivergent with ADHD, okay. And the mission of A Little Compassion spoke very highly with me, especially because I also have a son who is ADHD, and a lot of the struggles that I went through when I was younger, I was very lucky to have a mom who advocated for me when programs like 504 plans were very new. And A Little Compassion's work with educating parents and guardians and trying to assist them with connecting them with services and providing services for young adults spoke very, very nicely to me.
And how long has A Little Bit of Compassion been around?
Since 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Bill, your turn.
So I'm going on my fourth month as executive director.
Wow, so you're brand new.
Brand new.
All right.
I was a teacher for over 20 years, and then I went into fundraising. And from fundraising, I went into fundraising and marketing, where I worked at a nonprofit before this that supported people with disabilities.
Okay.
And one of the projects I ran was a bakery.
All right.
And all the employees were people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and that really inspired me. And then when I saw this position open up to do the same for the people who are neurodivergent, right. I jumped at the opportunity to be part of this amazing group.
You like it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I smile every morning when I wake up and get in the car and come to work. It's been a pure joy.
Now tell us what is the mission and the focus on supporting teens and young adults?
So our mission is all about inclusion.
Okay.
We want people of all abilities, neurodivergent or neurotypical, to feel welcome in every aspect of the shop, of our programs, of in the community. And our real mission really is very clearly to just bring people together and make them feel that they're a part of a community and welcome, and give everybody the same opportunities for employment, for socialization, for community involvement. And so that's...
Rich, you have something you'd like to add?
Well, yeah. One of our core programs is, in fact, actually our new employment skills training program.
Okay.
NEST.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And a lot of that is empowering neurodivergent young adults to have the confidence to be able to develop the hard and soft skills that they would need to be in any workspace.
Right.
And a lot of that goes into our work where we have in the Nest Coffee House a space where they can feel safe and comfortable in learning those skills. We have job coaches that help assist in that process and provide feedback.
Okay.
And it really is a place of development and growth and learning. So.
Yeah. And I have to say, we have a great many programs, and the Nest program is one where to see the growth of the interns as they go from their first day to their last day is just one of the most rewarding aspects of being able to work there, and to see their smile and pride in what they've accomplished.
And I'm sure they have fun.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's a coffee shop. It's a sandwich shop.
You can't trust me.
Exactly. You can't not have fun. Our vibe is something unique, and it just makes people want to come back time and time again. So it's really...
My dad is a retired baker and pastry chef. So we owned a bakery for 20-something years. Actually, when my mom and dad went down to Florida, in the early 70s, they came back with another child. from Florida to Connecticut. That would be me.
Oh.
I was born in Florida, and then they opened the bakery, and my dad was like, you know what, after 20 years, he's like, it's too crazy.
Oh, wow.
Working nights, working weekends, going in at 2 in the afternoon, coming home at 2 in the morning, sleeping again, doing it again. He's like, he's like, I've had enough. So, so I know what you guys go through as far as getting up in the wee hours. Yes, it's a little bit of fun, but
Yeah. It's
interesting.
It's manageable, and,
Yes.
and the people that work in the shop are happy
Yeah.
every day they come in. It's very
Now, let's do an overview of your flagship programs.
so. I'll talk about some, and you can
Sure.
talk about some.
Yeah.
So
All right.
the Nest Coffee Shop is a program, and that's
Okay.
what I think is very important for people to understand. People come in and they say, "Are you the owner of the?" And I'm like, "No, there's no owner
Right.
of this coffee shop. I'm the executive director of a nonprofit
Right. Who runs
a coffee shop.
Right.
And so that is something I think is important for people to understand, that it's a great program. It's our biggest program.
Okay.
It's got many aspects to it. We obviously have baristas who are neurodivergent and people of all abilities who work there. Within it, we have the Possibilities Boutique, which showcases artists who are neurodivergent, and we do consignment sales with them, so they're able to sell their wares, their crafts, their art right in the shop, and learn entrepreneurial skills through that program as well. And another aspect is Doggy Barks, which is great. So we take spent grains from breweries, and then we mix them with peanut butter, or we mix them with pumpkin, and then other natural ingredients. There's only 4.
Dog biscuits.
Yeah, and we make dog
Cool.
biscuits. And
Cool.
Again, all made by people who are neurodivergent, and we sell them out into various shops within the community. We sell them in our shop, but you can also buy them in other shops as well. So,
Nice. Nice.
And our other 2 primary programs that we have is our Gatherings program
Okay.
and our Acceptance, Inclusion, and Outreach program.
All right.
The Gatherings program is a series of social events that we have throughout the week where we invite people free of charge to come to the Nest and experience, sometimes it's an educational workshop. Like for instance, we've had a robotics class that was open to everybody. Sometimes it's social events like Pokemon Go hikes, or Lego nights that we have, where we have a whole lot of Legos that were very generously donated by the community. And it's just these wonderful series of events where people can come together and feel a sense of community and sort of fight back any feelings of isolation that sometimes they feel post-high school, where sometimes social events are harder to come by as young adults. And it's definitely a program that has resulted in so many friendships and so many connections, and it's a really meaningful element for so many members of our community. And the AINO program, Acceptance, Inclusion, and Outreach program, is one where we reach out to the community members, which can include police officers, teachers, transition coordinators, all sorts of people from across the community. And we do a series of programs where we try to match them with our parents and guardians of our community members to sort of increase educational awareness of services that are available, either through the state or through other means. And also bring community itself between the guardians themselves, because so often it can feel isolating, where you're experiencing something that you don't realize many other people are experiencing too. So it's really about fostering community and sort of social awareness.
and it all goes back to that word I said at the very beginning of our conversation: inclusion.
Right.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody can do everything, and we just want to make a safe space, a happy space, a soft space that people can come and enjoy, get a sandwich, get a coffee, get some arts and crafts, get some community, a strong sense of community, have a great program. It's just it's a hub of activity for people. So.
Now, I'm sure you guys are well received by the community and the people in the area.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
People are, a lot of people come into the shop regularly, and
Okay.
the thing we hear more often than anything over the last almost year that I've been there is just how welcoming and warm and just comfortable the place is. This is a place where people go not just to meet friends, but they go to work.
Right.
They work on their computers all day long, and
Right.
our quiet area or our not quiet area.
Exactly.
We do have a section that is supposed to be for a little bit more of a quieter demographic. And it's very, very welcoming, and people really appreciate it. And it's definitely, I would have to say, it's a major facet of the Deep River community area.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone, I feel like a lot of people in the Deep River, Chester, Essex area know us.
Right.
Know us not just for what our mission is, but just for the great space that is open and available. And one of the things that is so fun is that we have what we call frequent flyers. The people that come all the time. One person might only come every Thursday,
Right.
and other people come and spend the whole afternoon with us. And it's just great getting to know those frequent flyers, as we call them, as they come and go each week and each day. So,
Cool.
yeah,
Would you guys mind sticking around for another segment?
Sure.
absolutely.
All right. We'll be right back.
Vacation rental cons top the list of travel scams reported to Better Business Bureau. Con artists often pretend to own these rentals and try to talk you into paying them directly instead of through a travel company. It may be tempting because scammers will offer a cheaper deal, but the last thing you want to do after taking time off of work and paying for airfare is to get to your destination and learn the home you plan to rent doesn't even exist. Do extra research before buying into an ad you see on social media or online. The free cruise is also a common con. Read the fine print and watch out for add-on fees, taxes, and other charges. And finally, beware of third-party booking sites that claim to sell airfare. You pay with a credit card and then receive a call from the company asking you to verify personal information such as your bank account. In other cases, you're told your flight was canceled and convinced to fork over more money to rebook. To see the full list of vacation scams and how to avoid them, visit bbb.org/travel, and to report a scam, visit bbb.org/scam-tracker.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Bill Ferguson and Rich Wills from A Little Compassion. Gentlemen, welcome back. That was so much fun in the first segment, we get to do it again.
There you go.
There we go. So we're going to open up this segment talking about the 4th annual Compassion Walk. So, third annual.
Yep.
Third annual.
I'm sorry, third?
No, all good. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, so the Compassion Walk is our major fundraiser,
Okay.
and it's an event that's going to be held October 26th at Hammonasset State Park
Excellent.
from 12 to 3. Everyone is welcome. Our theme for this year is Compassion Knows No Bounds.
Alrighty, here we
And
go.
there you go.
Got a copy of the flyer
That's
behind
it
us.
right there.
Thank you.
And that says it all. Who is everyone?
Right.
What is the fundraising event? We're going to have kites available for activities for people of all ages.
Okay.
And then the where is Hammonasset, and when is October 26th? And if it rains, we'll just have the rain date the next day. But it starts at 1 p.m. And we would love for everyone to come down
All right.
and join us and just get to see the community members that make up a part of our community and our shop.
And I see we have special guests.
Yeah. So
We do.
Stephanie and Roger
Yes.
are
Okay.
going to be our MCs.
All right.
And they did it last year.
Oh, did they?
And they're just wonderful, wonderful people that I'm so excited to have them as part of our program that day.
I've never met either of them. I watch them on television
there's-
every night,
yeah.
and they seem
Super,
super nice.
yeah, yeah.
And the walk itself is a very inclusive walk in not just everyone involved, but also we sort of encourage people to go just as far as you'd like.
Right.
We're going to have stations along the way, letting people know how far you're going, and it is not required for anyone to go the full length of the trip.
All right.
But we do have a number of activities, as Bill mentioned. We have our Compassion Flyers kite event that we have going on along with it. So everyone who is involved as a participant will get a kite. And additionally that we have different activities that like a sort of a drawing, and also we're in partnership with certain groups to try to do some nature focused activities to take advantage of the beautiful Hammonasset Beach State Park with just so much of the beautiful wildlife and views. It's going to be just a really, really positive and enjoyable experience, and bringing people together in a wonderful space and doing fun activities.
Cool.
Right. And we're excited to have partnered with other groups that are going to be able to share with the community what they do and how they can help help other organizations along the way. But our big thing is to, I'll say it again, inclusion.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody come down. Everybody be a part of this great event. And if you want more information, come to our website, alittlecompassion.org, and you can find more about this great event coming up.
Absolutely. Now, how are all the funds raised to support the ALC programs?
Well, I'll take that one.
Go ahead, Rich.
So it's a combination of us reaching out to foundations and corporations and applying for different grants and sponsorships throughout the year. Yeah. And usually it is very much a process of us trying to align their missions with ours.
Right.
And trying to point out just of all the good work that ALC does in the community, and in many different facets, in both an educational facet and a human needs way. And we also have a lot of very, very generous donors from the local area who support us, and we're very grateful for each and every one of them, because they really make the magic happen.
Nice.
Right, and it's a combination of donors, sponsors, corporations, individuals that make up our fundraising campaigns each year. And it's, as a nonprofit, we're very reliant on that as the way we can fully support and do the programs that best benefit the people we serve. And that's something we're particularly proud of, is that we're able to serve so many people with the great support of our donors.
Now, what's a typical day for you guys trying to, with the organization, as far as getting the word out?
I mean, there is no typical day.
Yeah, right.
And that's another reason why I love coming to work. It's never the same day.
You never know what you're going to get yourself into.
I help, obviously, we have a new manager at the shop, and she's doing an amazing job. And so she and I have time together going over what's happening in the shop, what are upcoming sales.
Right.
Then I have time during the day speaking with Linda Bennett, our programs director, and going over what gatherings are coming up, what AI Know event is happening, and talking about that. I have time with Terry. How are we getting the word out on all the great things that we're doing in the shop? Work with Rich. All right, who are we reaching out to? What do we need to do for grants? Individual donors we need to reach out to. And then there's just me being in the shop, meeting new people, and just thanking them for coming out that day. And I've met so many amazing people just by saying hi, and I'll sit down at the table with them and talk with them, because they're really interested in who we are, what we do, and it's just another outreach that is just that's one of the most fun things, I'll be honest with you, about my day is meeting the great new customers that come in off the street and talk to us. So, but it's no typical day. But
Rich, how about you?
Well, pretty similar, minus a few things, plus a few other things. I do spend some time being able to talk to members of our community that are interested in learning more. Bill is very, very busy, often doing all the things that he just listed. So
yeah, right.
A lot of times myself and our program director, Linda Bennett, are speaking with members of the community and reaching out to donors and trying to track down and work with foundations that might be able to help us support our programs. It requires a lot of writing.
Oh yeah,
It requires a lot of writing, a lot of rewrites. But at the end of the day, we're very, very happy for the opportunities that we get to be able to connect with those groups and hopefully get their support because it is so crucial to be able to provide the services that we do.
Right. Now, however, let's talk about the lantern illumination celebration you guys have planned for next spring.
So we just had it this past spring, and it's evolved over the years. And again, it happened right before I officially started. So I can't say I'm the best person to talk about it, but I can tell you the history.
Sure.
Is that it goes back to that word inclusion. It's everybody comes together and makes a lantern, and it shows on how we as a community can really lighten up and brighten brighten the world around us. And it's a great event. It's not so much a fundraiser per se, but it's more of a community building, a community outreach event. And we're very appreciative that we were able to host it at Valley Regional this past spring. So.
And that extra space was very useful in that we introduced an artist showcase this past
really?
That was related to actually several grants that we had received to help do an artist mentorship program where we connected our autistic and neurodivergent artists with local artists, established artists in the area, and they provide mentorship over a period of several months. So, and it was a really, really fantastic experience. Our artists got the experience of doing a sort of an artist fair that they normally wouldn't have had the opportunities, or in some instances, the courage that because that's a really big step, and sometimes that's a little scary. But with our mentorship program, it was pretty wonderful, and they felt comfortable and confident to do it. And in fact, several of our artists were involved in another art fair since then, up in Quincy, Massachusetts, with the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation. They put on an art fair up there.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So they went up. I mean, this was again one of those great moments where you can see the progression, the growth, and the inspiration the artists had. So they had that little taste of being able to showcase their art at the lantern illumination event, and then with that kind of foundation, they went up to the Doug Flutie Jr. They had a Stars of the Spectrum event, and at that event there were nearly 1,000 people there, and they had a booth, and they were able to showcase their art, and some people made as much money as they make in a month in one day, and it was just
very nice.
And that is a great thing, but just getting that confidence and that skill set and that I don't know how else to say it. It's just that the skills to be able to do that with a large group of people is something that they can carry on forever.
Right. And I'm sure it was pretty cool to see everybody up there trying to do their thing. And
well, that's the thing. I think one of the, at least from my experience with doing development before coming to ALC, a lot of times you did work to raise money often for scholarships or things like that, but you didn't really get to see the fruits of your efforts in real time. At A Little Compassion, we get to see the learning, the development, the growth, the confidence grow every day. And right there where we are, and that's really special.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And as far as, how about the long-term visions and goals for ALC?
So, growth,
Okay.
and when I say growth, I mean by more people being involved.
Right.
And I can say we want to offer more gatherings so that more young people can come and have that safe space available for their enjoyment. Want to see more interns in the NEST, the N period, E period, S period, T period, NEST program, so that they can learn the skills and be able to go out into the community and have gainful, positive employment experience. I'd love to see another nest in another town doing the same thing for that community. So that is definitely one of our major long-term goals, is to take the great shop, the great business model that we have in Deep River, and bring it to other communities so that the neurodivergent community members there could have the same opportunities that people have here in the Deep River area.
Before we say goodnight, what's the website where people can go find more information?
alittlecompassion.org,
Okay.
just alittlecompassion.org.
And everything's there.
Yep,
Everything's
there.
Well, gentlemen, before we say goodnight, I want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely,
Baby?
absolutely,
Absolutely.
definitely, yes.
Bill and Rich, thanks for some time, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
Not a problem. On behalf of Bill and Rich, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.